Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with PhoneArena.com and you're watching the comparison between the Sony Xperia Z1 and the HTC One. The Z1 is Sony's latest flagship with all the makings of a well-rounded device, while the HTC One is the company's own vision of a well-executed flagship. Both have different ideas on how smartphone cameras should work, which makes for a really good comparison. Sure, the HTC One is old already, but still is one of the best looking smartphones out there with well-rounded specs. So let's find out how it compares with the newer Xperia Z1. In terms of looks, the Xperia Z1 and the HTC One are very different. The Z1 is rectangular and is more glass than metal, while the HTC One is dominated by unibody aluminum, which gives it a very premium finish and look. In terms of dimensions, the Xperia Z1 is taller and wider than the One, but only relatively thinner. The Z1 weighs comparatively heavier at 170 grams, while the HTC One weighs just around 143 grams. So in terms of ergonomics and feel, we think the HTC One is much better. Overall, it would be a tough choice to choose between the Z1, which is a 5-inch phone, and while the industrial design continues to be solid and eye-catchy, it is quite reflective, glossy and a fingerprint magnet, and the HTC One, which is relatively compact and offers an even more premium finish, but it comes with a 4.7-inch display. So it definitely boils down to personal preference. In terms of displays, both the phones come with a Full HD screen. The Z1 has a 5-inch Full HD tri-luminous display with a pixel density of 441 ppi, while the HTC One comes with a 4.7-inch Full HD SLCD3 display with a pixel density of 469 ppi. HTC has one of the sharpest displays in the market. In various aspects of a display like brightness, contrast, viewing angles and sunlight legibility, HTC One is way ahead of the Xperia Z1. The viewing angles of the Z1 are very poor and remind us of the screen of the Xperia Z, which suffered from similar problems. When seen from a slightly different angle, the screen of the Xperia Z1 appears whitish, while the display of the HTC One simply looks gorgeous at all the angles. So finally, we think the HTC One has a much better display. The Xperia Z1 packs the fastest processor in the market, the Snapdragon 800 SoC, clocked at 2.2 GHz. It packs 2 GB of RAM and has the Adreno 330 GPU, while the One comes with a slightly less powerful Snapdragon 600 clocked at 1.7 GHz, has the same 2 GB of RAM and the Adreno 320 GPU. In terms of internal storage, there is 16 GB on the Xperia Z1, while the HTC One comes with 64 or 32 GB variants. We have the 32 GB variant here, by the way. The Xperia Z1 has support for microSD cards, which is missing in the One. Having a newer processor and the new GPU clearly gives the Xperia Z1 an advantage, and it is seen in the benchmark scores. In terms of daily use performance, both the phones are quite fast, and opening apps, switching between them is seamless. Overall, the Xperia Z1 is the winner because of the newer processor and the GPU. As we said earlier, both the phones have a different idea of how a smartphone camera should be. The Xperia Z1 with a 20.7 MP Sony sensor goes with a megapixel race, while the HTC One shuns it with a 4 megapixel ultra pixel camera. The idea here is the One compensates with a bigger pixel size, while the Z1 tries to do the same but with computational oversampling. Moreover, the One comes with optical image stabilization, which ensures minor shakes and low light imaging are not a problem, while that is missing on the Z1. The camera UIs are vastly different on both the phones and offer their own unique experiences. The Z1 has a super fast refresh rate for the viewfinder and unique modes such as AR and super fast burst thanks to the Bionz processor. HTC has its own image sense chip to do the burst mode differently with the HTC Zoe that can take a 3-second video, a burst of images, and lets you manipulate them in different ways. Both the UIs have their own strengths. But in terms of image quality, the daylight photos and videos taken on the Xperia Z1 are better with nice details and more colors, but when it comes to low light, the HTC One has the advantage, whereas it fails to deliver in every other condition. We overall prefer the Z1's images, while the One does better in low light and sometimes in videos thanks to the optical image stabilization. The Xperia Z1, being a newer phone, comes with Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean, while the HTC One was released on Android 4.1.2, but now it is updatable to Android 4.2 Jelly Bean. Both the phones run on the same version now, but both have completely different user interfaces. The Xperia Z1 has Sony's own user interface with their own vision of apps like Album, Movies and Walkman, while HTC has their famous Sense UI along with BlinkFeed. The differences in the UI and the design language are stark, and it is mostly up to personal preferences. Each phone is unique in its own way, but we feel that the HTC One has the upper hand here because of the better looking UI and the rich feature set. Also on the media side, the Xperia Z1 might come with its own and unique offerings like Album, Walkman and Movies, but apps like the Gallery on the One stand out because of the video highlights feature. In addition to that, the music player also goes hand in hand with the great sound quality of the Beats audio amplifiers. Both the devices are great for multimedia, but because of the better display and the better sound quality, the HTC One has the advantage. In terms of gaming performance, both the phones are really good. But because of the newer processor, the higher clock speeds and the better GPU, gaming is definitely better on the Xperia Z1. But the HTC One is good enough too. Coming to battery life, the Z1 comes with a 3000 mAh lithium-ion battery, while the HTC One has a 2300 mAh lithium polymer variant. Both the batteries are sealed and not user accessible. While both the phones perform admirably well in terms of battery life, we found it to be better on the Xperia Z1 thanks to a bigger capacity and the excellent stamina mode. Another minor advantage the Z1 boasts is native support for the wireless PlayStation controller. Makes it a lot easier to play the high quality games. So in the end, the Sony Xperia Z1 is Sony's latest flagship and has all the ingredients to stand up against the rest of the competition with top of the range specifications. The HTC One is still HTC's best Android smartphone till date and comes with great build quality and overall rounded performance. The Z1 is available for Rs 40,000 and gives you a better camera, better battery, better performance, better gaming performance and solid build quality. The HTC One single SIM on the other hand is currently not available in India, but the dual SIM variant is available for 49,000 rupees and gives you a premium device with better software features. So that's it for the comparison between the Xperia Z1 and the HTC One. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do hit the like button and do subscribe to our channel for more videos like these. So that's it for now. Do check back for more videos. Thanks for watching and let us know what you think in the comment section below.